everyone, just got settled. Hi, I'm Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures here in British Columbia, BC, Canada. I'm in Chilliwack, which is a small community. It's actually a city, but it's a very small rustic community here in the west coast of Canada. And I'd like to say welcome. Anyone that's popping on, say hello, and I'd love to chat with you. And anyone that's watching on my website or in YouTube, I hope you enjoy this video I am going to share with you. This week it's been one of those weeks. It's the end of January. January for me is the worst month of the year. I get doom and gloom and a little bit kind of wondering about things and the weather and too much at home but don't want to go out. Do you feel like that in January? Anyway, that's how I've been. I haven't been able to do much painting of the big furniture, and I've been meaning to start all this week because the weather did get warmer, but I just had some small things I had to finish off, so I got going on those, and I will be starting. Hi Sharon, how are you doing? I'll be starting on the furniture tomorrow. But today I'm going to show you a craft, a couple of crafts actually, but a main craft. As I did this one last year a couple of times. I didn't do a video, but I made a few of them myself, and I didn't realize how actually they were going to take off again this year. I didn't know if they were going to be in fashion this year or if it was going to be the in thing, but looking on YouTube and Facebook and the internet, I've realized that they are still in fashion. Everybody's still wondering how to make them and what to do. So I figured I will do a video and a live on Facebook to show you my 3-tier trays. So come on down and let's get going on making these. I'm going to move you down, which means I'll probably drop either the Facebook people or I will drop the website people, but hopefully not. I'm trying not to drop you this week. Let's see what I can do. Turn you this way so you see more of what I'm actually making. And I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. I like to have a tea while I'm doing this because I get dry throat. This one's a nice warm cinnamon tea, so it's a nice one. Okay. So I don't know if I can show you the whole thing. I will bring you to up for it. Here is one of my 3-tier trays. This is the one I have in my craft place for, it's for sale, and it's hard to show you the whole thing, but there you go. There you are for anyone that's on Facebook. Just going to show people on my YouTube channel. Again, there you go. This is one of my trays. It's a black one I did, and I don't know if you all remember, but this one I actually had decorated over Christmas, and I had it, hi Laurie, how are you doing? I had this one decorated, and I had little, I don't know if I still have them, but little houses, and I made it into kind of a little Christmassy village, and that's how I displayed it over Christmas. And I did cute little, snow and the Christmas village on the different tiers and put some lights in, and I displayed it that way. And right now I just have it, as you can see, with some whites and some natural pine cones, and mostly whites just because it's winter time, and that's the way it's displayed right now. So what I'm going to do is basically show you how I make them. Everybody has different ideas. There's lots of people doing it. You could YouTube it, you could see all different ways of doing it, but I just thought I'd give some examples of how you can do it and make it your own, because a lot of people are buying the same things because they're seeing the same videos and buying the same products, and everyone's going to end up with the same 3-tier exact same tray, and what's the point of that? You could just go to a store and get one from Target or Walmart and get a tray. But if you want to make it unique for your own home, I hope I'll give you some tips and tricks of making it your own. But right now I'm going to try and be gentle with this, not drop anything, and just move it out of my way. So just give me a minute. So So, safest place for it is on the floor. That's where I put anything that I don't want to drop. And I'm going to kind of get straight into making one here. Now, the main thing that I find with these trays is everyone goes to, because it's the cheapest place to go, is either Walmart or Dollar Tree. And they are fantastic. Prices are amazing and you can pick up. And I still am using actually these pillars for my actual tray on this one I'm making. That's what I've chosen to use, but you don't have to. You can use anything, but for the pillars you can use bottles, you can use anything for the pillars. I'll give you another example a little bit later, but I find the key thing for when you're doing the pillars is whatever you use, the two pillars be the same height. It'd be nice if they were the same width or even identical, so that you've got a little bit of kind of, you know, a stacking system. They don't have to be exactly the same, but it's nice that they're the same height, or else your 3-tier tray doesn't quite match up. If you like something out there, fun, great. If not, it just makes your eyes kind of think, yeah, that doesn't look quite right. So make sure the pillars are the same height. And I did actually get these, as I say, $1.25 here in Canada is Dollar Tree pricing, so I did get these for the pillars. But I figured I would do something a little different. I like to go to thrift stores, as you know, and I usually get something different to make things. And I always, when I'm doing the 3-tier tray, I always look for a base first. I'm always looking for either these little type of plant stands or tea stands or anything that is a stand. So whenever I find these in the thrift stores, I pick them up, keep them, and then I know I can make something decorative. You don't have to do a tier tray, you can do anything you want and just stick them together, paint them, and it's nice to have kind of feet on anything you're making. So whenever you go into a thrift store and you see little stands like this, plant stands, grab them. You never know when you're going to use them. And this one was 99 cents, and I still got the price on it. See if I can try and trim it off while I'm talking to you. So that's what I start with. I always look for the base part first, and then I kind of get an idea of the sizing of what I want the next piece to be. So let's see if I can. Oh, don't you hate when you go to the thrift stores that they put these stickers on everything, and then always the kind of cheap ones, which I don't blame them for using cheap ones, but always hard to get back off, right? So I'm going to try and use my nails here and just peel that off. It's wrapped all the way around, which is a pain. Now on the base, I usually paint the whole thing, but this one I'm going to keep black, so I don't need to paint this. It's always better if you don't have to paint it. You could always spray paint it, but they are a pain to hand paint. And this one black, I think I'm going to keep it the same. So what I generally use for my first layer is something like a pizza plate, a pizza pan. They're flat, they're round, and they're quite big. But what I picked up for this particular one is I actually found a charger. There's a lot of them still in the stores from Christmas over. This one, again, 99 cents, still got the sticker on, and I picked this one up and I thought it would be perfect for my base. So just take that sticker off. I kept the stickers on so it would remind me how much I paid for it, so you can get an idea of how cheap and quick you can make these. So I'm going to be sticking those two together, and what I do is use a little bit of a glue gun and a lot of the E6000 that I always use. You want the glue gun to help you put it in place, but you need the E6000 for longevity of it sticking for a long time. So I'm going to just, if you can see, put a few dabs with my glue gun. This just helps it stay in place while the setting process goes. And with this particular craft, you don't want to stick it all together at the same time, because you will find it breaks as you're trying to get one tier straight and centered. The second tier will break and fall off, and you just get frustrated. So as I'm doing this, just do one tier at a time, and just let it just dry out and set. Let the glue set. And what you want to do is you want to put your base on top of your top part. So you're going to do it this way, so then you can easily see where center is. If you put it the other way around, then you kind of look it like this to see if you've got it in the center. So that is the way to do that. It will take some sticking. It will take overnight. Don't expect it to be stuck while I'm talking to you and this be perfect right now, because it's going to take overnight for this to stick. But I am just going to put a little bit of my glue gun to get it in place, just so that I can show you the next steps. So I'm just going to flip it over. As I say, it's not stuck yet, it's not going to be, but just to give you an idea of what the next part is. So I'm just going to try pull you, that's it, pull you back. Next part is putting your first tier, and you want to put it in the center there. And it's always good when you're doing center to maybe stand up and look down on it rather than the side to get perfect center, but we'll just get this in place. So a couple of dabs, as I say, with the glue gun, because this sets very quickly, and then the rest of it with the E6000 so it lasts forever. Because as I say, this is too strong, the metal and the glass, for the glue sticks to last forever. And you stick it in the middle. I'm going to push it down, and I'm just going to stand up and make sure I've got the middle, because there's nothing worse than it being slightly off. That's pretty good. I didn't have it quite in the middle at first, so just wipe away the glue that I don't need. And that's pretty good. Now for my next layer, I decided to use a cake pan. Got it from Dollar Tree. Very simple. The black three-tier stand that you saw, the next level, that was a pie dish. This one's a cake tin, and I like it to have a little bit of an edge. So this one, $1.25 from the Dollar Tree, a little cake tin. I'm just going to stick this one onto the next part. So that'll be simple. Just find where I put down my glue. Let the glue stick out, couple of dabs, and then I'm getting low on this E6000. As you can tell, I use it a lot, but get that going. And I'm going to put this on top. Now I'm going to push it down, and again I'm going to stand up and just make sure I do have it centered, because it's not going to look good if it's not centered. So have a look. Yep, not quite centered, has to come towards me just a little bit, and then push down. And I'm going to move the whole thing over just a little bit, so you can see what's going on here, and push down, and then put the next candlestick is going to go on top. But before I do that, if I do it now, it's going to just all fall over. So I'm going to just show you how I'm going to do the top part. Thank you. So I got this from the thrift store, a little tiny tray, and that's what I got to put on top. And I'm going to be sticking it to this part here first and let that get stuck. On the black tray, what I used, I should have showed you while I had it up here, it was just a plate, and then in the middle of the plate I actually stuck on I don't know if you know that the end of the rolling pins, I had an odd end of a rolling pin. I guess I threw the rolling pin away a long time ago and I had just an end in a drawer. And I thought, what could I put in the middle of a plate to give it just a little topper? And I put that on. So I may show you later, but I just stuck it in the middle and it looked great. This one I wanted kind of a little tray. And again, 99 cents. I guess I got them for all. Actually, I think these were all 99 cents, but because they were green label, on the day I went, because I always pick up the certain colour labels on certain days, it was 50% off. So all these 99 cents I'm telling you, I think I actually paid 50% off that for those particular days. So I go in on Green Day, which is a certain day of the week, and I pick up all the green stuff that I'm interested in. Then I'll nip back on a different day, and the blue day I'll pick up all the blue label stickered stuff, and that will be like a 75% off. So I go certain days for different actual labels. Even when I go to the thrift store, I try to get the cheapest I can. Anyway, take the label off. It's good when you're taking the label off if you just use a little bit of water, but yeah, I think I'm going to use a tiny bit of water for this one, and I'll show you a quick trick of what I tend to do, because this one is stuck on. I get a little bit of water and I have one of these. You have them in your kitchen. I just grab these from the dollar store and I just keep some in my craft room, and I just use it to take off anything sticky, labels, anything like that. And it doesn't take much to do, and also it's pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is actually stick these two together first. So how's everyone doing? Are you as glum as I am because it's still January? Where did I put the... oh, there's glue. Because I will be glad when it's February. I find February you have some nice sunny days. Might be cold, might be crisp, but it's nice to be dry. Go out for a nature walk, and I'm just glad when it comes to being February. I'm not a January girl, that's for sure. So we're going to stick this one on top. I can't put it flat because it's got the handle, so I'm just going to make sure I have the center and just press down. I'm always slightly off when I do center, and I guess I'm not a natural finding the center. I know someone, Denise, that is, she just knows where that center is, but I have to fiddle around a little bit. Turn it back upside down and just let it just dry there. I'm just looking for the top, the top for my glue before I lose half of it, and just leave that for a minute. And I'm going to now just going to show you what this looks like and see if this is dry enough for me to put the next level on. Let's see, is it dry enough? As this is, no, it's not dry enough, so I'm just going to show you for now. This is what it would look like, if you can see that. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mess around with it because I don't want it to not dry good. I want it to dry solid. So I'm just going to leave it to do that, but I'm just going to move this one to one side and just show you what I would do. I would wait for it all to dry, one piece, and then I would paint. But I'm going to start painting now this one and just get going on it a little bit, because it doesn't really matter if you paint before or after, to be honest with you. So let's see if I can open this paint up. I had it open this morning and now it doesn't open, so let's see if I, oh, there it goes. Open it again. Now, I have a black one, as you saw before. Hi Xander, how are you doing? I've heard you hurt your foot. How's your foot doing? You're not doing so good this week. You hurt your foot. Is it fractured or is it sprained? Oh, I hope you're feeling good soon. So this tray, this 3-tier tray, I am going to paint it grey. The reason I'm going to paint it grey is I always like natural colours, and I like it to be a little bit in the background because you put displays on it, you put different things on it, so you don't need it to be out there, because or else the decorations you put on it will not stand out. And this one I want to do grey, as I want it to be all seasons and a little bit rustic looking. So I'm just going to show you the colour, and then tomorrow I will get the whole thing painted up the same and let it all dry, and I will take some display staging pictures and show you the finished thing tomorrow. I may even do a live and show you the finished tomorrow, but right now I'm just going to paint it, give you a kind of an idea. It's not a huge difference in colour because this is silver and I'm doing grey, but just give you a little bit of an idea. Painting it just takes the shine away, basically, because right now rustic stuff rather than shiny stuff is the in thing, and also you don't want it shiny when you want to display things, again, because it takes away from your display. You want it just to be your background here. So there you go. You don't see much of a finish here, but I'll finish that up tomorrow and show you the finished product. So what I'm going to do today is show you one I've already started on. So let's put that lid back on and just gonna grab some of my tea. It's still hurting and it's badly sprained. Yeah, it's gonna hurt for a couple of weeks now, but I hope you're better soon. So this is one I made actually a while ago, and it's huge, as you can see. This is a big one. I used bottles, little tiny mini milk bottles for in the center. So I'm just going to give you a quick look because this is a tall one, and we're just going to finish this one off and show you the finish on this one. Oh. And for anyone that's on YouTube or the website, again, this is the one I made. Not quite finished, but let's finish it off. I've got the colour on it, and the reason that I am doing the colour that's on this one is it's kind of a minty bluey green colour. This one is going to be for spring. I'm going to be setting this one up and doing spring. But how I want to finish it, because I'm not quite happy with, as you can see, around here and around here. So what I'm going to do is put some decorative rope around. So I'm going to put a couple of layers around. And just glue gun it around. If I can do that here, and whenever you've got some joins like this, it's always nice to have something that you can put on the join to give it decorative. And also with this being spring, I wanted it a little rustic, so I can put some bird nests, blossoms, that kind of thing as my decor on this one. So hard to see under here. Turn it around. It's such a big tray, but I think it's going to be so nice when I can just put different displays on it. And around again. Got my, oh no, I thought I had my hair on it, but it's not, it's just the string from the glue. And then again, one more layer. Oh, hard to see. You can probably see better than I can from that angle. And of course, I'm running out of glue. So let's get a glue stick in there ready so I can keep going round and round. And there you go. You can see how I'm going to go with that. And I'm again not going to bore you doing, I'm going to put some 2 pieces of rope here. As you can see, the 2 here. I'm going to do the same on top, 2 down here and 2 up here. I will again tomorrow take some after pictures when it's all finished up and decorated up and let you see that. But again, you don't need to watch me gluing each one. You see the concept of what I'm trying to do, make it a little bit rustic and adding the rope, and that one will be finished again tomorrow. So what I thought we would do is do one more. It's not a 3-tier, this is going to be more of a candle stand, but I wanted to just give you an idea of how to do that. So again, I went to the Dollar Tree and I picked up one of these. Now this to me I believe is a margarita glass, or it's definitely a cocktail glass or a dessert bowl or something like that. I would definitely like to be on the beach drinking a margarita out of this right now. But it's nice and solid glass, it's heavy, and I thought it would be a great stand. So then what I did, again, $1.25 from Dollar Tree, picked it up. So then I figured what I would do is just grab one of these little candle stands, flat plate candle stand, and I'm going to stick it on top. That's all I'm going to do, is I'm just going to glue it on top with, I can show you here, let's put a couple of dabs. Just gives you an idea of how you can layer different materials and different things, put some glue on, paint it up, and make displays with candles and flowers and plants and different ways of putting height to your arrangements. So the idea today is what I wanted to show you is how you could do that in many different ways. So I'm going to, as I say, put the glue here and then leave this to dry. And if you know me by now, I do have one already dry, so I'm just going to show you here to stick it in place with the glue, and that's going to be overnight, that's going to be stuck in place, and I will show you one I've done. This one here, I finished, it's stuck, and I've already painted it. What colour did I paint this? Weathered wood. So it's a brown colour, weathered wood, and my next step will be to put the second coat on. But what I'm going to do is do a crackle effect. So let's grab, I'm going to do 2 layers here. Get my brushes, find those. Alright, I'm going to do a crackle effect. Hi Sheila, how are you doing? It's an E6000. I find this is the strongest glue to last when you're doing glass, metal, or anything heavy. So thanks for that question, Sheila. That's what I use. But while I'm making it, I do put a couple of dabs of the hot glue gun just in a couple of places, and then put this all the way around the rest of it, and I find that the glue gun keeps it in place while this is activating and drying, and it's better than it kind of sliding. So the glue gun actually stops it sliding. So when it's overnight and it's drying, it can't slide and move around out of place while this works its magic. So that's how I do it. And what we're going to do now is a little bit, as I say, of hopefully a paint effect. So I've got the weathered wood crackle. This is my favourite. I got this one actually from the dollar store. You can get it from Michael's, any craft store. but this size you can get from the dollar store. And this one I find works the best for me, and especially on wood. If you are going to do a crackle effect on wood, use the weathered wood one, because it crackles in the way wood usually do. And what I want to do with this, even though it's not wood, I want to make it kind of look like a wood candle stand. So I'm using the weathered wood crackle to give it illusion that it was wood, or it is wood underneath. So we're going to just do that now. Let's see if I got a little tray to put some in. Now what I do is I get these plastic trays that you get fast food in, and I wash them out and I keep them, and I use them for paint or glue or anything like that. So rather than having to buy a tray, that's what I do. So I'm just going to squeeze a little out, and the more you put on, the bigger the spread of the crackle. The less you put on, the smaller, tinier the crackle. And on this I want little tiny crackles, so I don't want it spread out. But if you're doing a long piece of wood and you want that crackle effect, then put it on thicker. But it will take longer, and you want it flat, because anything that's really wet, if you don't have it flat, it will run. And that just spreads and makes a mess. So as I say, this I'm going to do a small little area. I'm going to do a top bit here, and I'm not doing it thick. I don't want it thick, so put just a little on. And do it here, so I'm going to have the crackle come down. So put it in place. As I say, I don't want it thick. And crackle doesn't crackle in a straight line, so let's do it going down here. And that's the crackle stuff on, and I want it to crackle down. Best way with crackle is don't put the paint on top while it's wet, but also don't let it dry. You want it like that sticky consistency, where it's not quite dry and it's not too wet either, so it runs. And that I find is the best time to put the paint over the top of the crackle. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to paint over the top. The thicker you put the paint on, the better the coverage, but also the longer the drying time. And I'm just going to do little areas of this, just give you the illusion. Let's see if we can get the crackle going. And do another section. So you want to pick areas of your candle stand of what you want crackled. You don't want it all crackled, you just want bits crackled. And while it's drying, that's when you'll get the crackle, and I can see already it's starting to on that part I've already done. Put it down the stem here, and I find when something cracks, it cracks all the way down, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, is do that effect here. And then just wait a little bit for it to get that sticky consistency, and then put the paint on top. Anybody got any questions? Are you still with me here on this one? Because I've got lots of components today and different things that I've been making, but I figured a lot of the things I've been making, you've been hearing my dryer go as I'm trying to dry paint and things like that, and I figured this week I would do different things, so you can see concepts, techniques and that kind of thing, and then I'll finish them off and you'll see the finished thing tomorrow. So let's see. Yeah, it's starting to crack a little bit. Not as much as I thought. You never know. There is no perfect way of doing this. It will crack however it wants to crack. Hi Carol, how you doing? You have to just play with it and then see what happens. So I'll put some white paint in between because I don't want it crack everywhere, just in places. I think on this top part I'm going to put some of the crackle in the middle. So let's put some in the middle, shall we? Do I have enough? Yeah, I think I do. Just let it dry a little. And I'm just going to paint in parts that's not going to be crackled. Move it around, let's see what's going on here. Okay, the top should be just about tacky, a right amount. As I say, you don't want it wet and you don't want it dry. You want it that tacky consistency of the crackle to put the paint on. I actually haven't used crackle for so long, it's been a while. I've been using stamps and different other effects to make a crackled look, so this has been kind of fun because I haven't done this for a while. And when it's all dry, I'm going to put some antiquing wax on to finish it off. But I think let's put a little bit more crackle somewhere. Let's put some here while I've got it in here. Oh, what are you going to make for your next project then, Sheila? I'm glad this is perfect timing. I saw actually a couple of things I want to do that's with the crackle effect myself, and I'm going to get a couple more things for my own projects. Yeah, and when I saw this glass and this, I kind of thought, let's play with this, let's see what happens. I haven't used these before, I haven't put this together before, but let's see how it comes out, shall we? Alright, let's see if I can get, there'll be parts where you need to paint over and get your second coat, but I want it rustic, and again, as I say, I'm going to put the antiquing wax over the top, so I'll fill in some spaces too, and just try and make it a little old looking. And also, if I find that it's just too white, I can also do a little wet distress too. But yeah. Hard to turn around it while it's still wet. Let's see, I've got some around here that needs, oh, I can see it with the camera, that needs covering. Okay, I'm not going to do too much here because I will go back when it's dry to paint over the rest, but let's see if I can show you by tipping. Can you see the crackle? Can you see it? Tell me please, anyone. Hello Eli, how are you doing? Can you see the crackle? Can anybody tell me, can you see it from that distance? I don't know, it's too wet to kind of... Can you see the crackle effect coming? Anyone that can see it, please say, yes, I can see crackle. Or no, the camera's not doing it justice, sorry. Oh, as usual, got it all over my fingers. And just paint a little bit more. No, that's my husband asking when I'm going to be home. I'm not going to be home yet, but I can't wait to get home because he has cooked today and I can't wait to have He always cooks something yummy, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll turn this around if I can. Try not to get my hands in the paint as I turn it around. I need one of those lazy Susans to spin my projects around. Oh, you can see the crackle? Good, thank you, Sheila. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Let's see if I can put the noisy thing on again. Sorry guys, just for a little quick to get some dry. Okay, I'm not going to do it too much because I just want it to naturally dry, but again, I just wanted to show you how it's coming together, because all those places I did the crackle, can you see the crackle coming? So I'm going to let that do what it needs to do overnight, do the crackle effect, and then I'm going to paint in the areas that are not covered in the white paint, maybe wet distress a little bit. And then I'm going to do the other one, paint that one up too, the same, and going to put some antique wax on. So what I think I might do with all these projects are partly done, maybe tomorrow I'm going to nip on live and show everyone the finished projects and how I did it. Thank you, Carol. It's in that work in progress state right now. I wouldn't say it's pretty at the moment, but let it crackle. I wanted to show you how I do things, how I crackle it. I want to let it crackle, let it do its thing, and then tomorrow finish it up, tidy it up, and clear coat it. And as I say, put the antique wax on and clear it, coat it, and then hopefully I will have a rustic candle stand or plant stand or whatever you want to put on top, and I'll stage it and display them nicely, and I will be back tomorrow and show you hopefully the finished product all finished with. So I hope you guys have fun with trying to do the crackle, and please show me pictures of what you've made with the crackle. Let's see how you come up with different ideas, and maybe you can give me some inspiration too. Thank you, Laurie. Have a good night to you too. And before I say goodbye, I'm just going to say thanks for watching. I've got the 3-tier trays I will show you tomorrow. I've got these candle stands I will show you again tomorrow. And then again on Saturday, I will be doing a live to show you my place and what's for sale and what I have and things like that. But unfortunately, I will not be doing an open house on Saturday, as pretty much all my furniture has been sold. I have lots of little knickknacks, but there's nothing to display them on, and I just don't have enough stuff, any of my creations, to justify having an open house. So that's cancelled this week, but in some ways it's a great thing, because I've had January be an amazing month of selling, and that's been so much fun. So thanks for everyone's support, and again, I'll see you tomorrow with the finishes, touches of all the things that we made today together, and I'll show you how they are finished. And see you tomorrow. I'll be back live at some time, not sure what time tomorrow, and show you the finished products. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.